it seems like this day and age, everyone and their mother is testing positive for steroids.
It's kind of crazy.
PEDs.
Well, let's be honest.
I think,
they work.
Well, yeah.
You know
And I think it's prevalent in the sport. I was trying to think. I'm trying to think how I should put this. Because when I was on, Rogan and I were talking about it, I went, no one thinks it's a little fishy that he gets this exemption and they're just going to test him for 4 weeks. But they told Mark Hunt months ago, be ready because a big name could fight at UFC 200.
Right.
So no one thinks that this wasn't their entire plan all along, which I said, and I took so much shit for it. They're like, no, it was a last second deal. I know, Rogan, I know what went into it, blah, blah, blah. Dude, you're crazy. You're fucking crazy if you don't think this was the plan all along. And then they sell and they're out, right? So
I'm sorry, but what plan? What plan? Like to get Brock a long time ago?
Because if you put up the Brock signal and he's like, well, bro, I'm in the WWE. Like,
I need to train.
Well, no, not even that. I'm in the WWE. I'm doing what the fuck WWE guys do. I'm on some shit, man. So we don't have the same commission.
Gotcha.
There's no commission for the WWE. Yeah, they have the safe protocols. Well, that's all bullshit. There's no commission. That's not sanctioned. That's all bullshit. So there's no commission drug testing them, right? There's no state commission governing body that's testing them. So if you're in the WWE, I get it, man. It's rough work. Day in, day not, nonstop. So there's a lot of PED use in that sport. Now, if you ask him to fight in the UFC, even if you asked him 6 months ago, his system still wouldn't be cleared. So if you don't think this was the whole plan, and everyone's aware that there's a high probability that he was going to fail these drug tests,
which is okay because he had an exemption, right?
No, it's not okay because his exemption was for the 6 months, but he got tested for the 4 weeks.
I got
you. Are you following this?
Okay, I see what you're saying. I got you. Okay,
so remember the argument was no, he's still getting drug tested. No, you fucking idiots. So let's say right now I'm retired, right? Let's say right now I go, hey man, I'll come back and fight. USADA is going to say, okay, we're going to test you for the next, I think 4 to 6 months religiously. Make sure you're not taking shit. Then you can fight. He got exempt from that. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So then he only got tested for those 4 weeks. Wow. Before the fight. And they're saying, we didn't know he was going to fight, man. So he's only going to test for 4 weeks. They failed that. And so they go, and it came out, I think they come out today, Ev, with John. It's estrogen blockers, which we already knew. Chael talked about. We've spoke about this. So estrogen blockers, right? And so now with Brock Lesnar, they're saying, oh, he had asthma. It's because of asthma. That's the card they're going to, asthma.
Because asthma makes you super muscular.
Yeah, I've taken asthma.
Asthma medication makes you. Every time you see people say, that kid with the inhaler, he's like
that kid's jacked. Well, no,
the kid with the inhaler who's insanely jacked.
Most kids with inhalers are.
Why is that guy so muscular? He have asthma.
It's inhaler, man. God, you're jacked. I know. Thank God this inhaler.
Damn. That's why all those bodybuilders are doing inhalers.
Yeah, it's just. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
It's just like if people would just own up to it. If Brock was like, hey man, here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the fucking thing. I'm in the WWE. It's wear and tear on my body. I take some shit there. They put up the Brock Lesnar sign. They need me to save the card. I did it. I get busted. What the fuck you want me to do, man? I did them a favor. I made $12 million.
Right.
All right. See, that's there we are.
Is that how much he made for that?
He made good money. Yeah. So I think the real issue here is, and I tweeted out Mark Hunt's whole argument where he's upset.
It was very interesting,
I sent it to you. I sent that link, Mark Hunt, how he's so upset. He goes, I'm not fighting for the UFC. I want to release from the UFC unless I get half his paycheck.
Right. Because he could have gotten injured, he said.
This is the problem, though. This is the only problem where he kind of screwed himself. Remember, let's rewind 4 weeks ago when Mark Hunt was saying, I know he's on steroids. I'm still going to knock his juice head out. Right. I'm still going to knock his juice gills out or whatever his exact words were. So he kind of acknowledged that what we all assumed Brock was on steroids, he still was going to fight him, right? He was like, yeah, he's on juice. Who cares? I'm still going to knock his ass out.
Right.
So now you find out he's on it, and they're like, this is ridiculous.
Right.
And now I'm on Mark Hunt this. You should get paid. You should be compensated.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of parties involved knew Brock was taking shit. Ragdolled Mark Hunt like we've never seen him get Have you ever seen Mark Hunt get picked up, slammed like that?
That's crazy.
A guy from taking 3.5, 5 years off? What?
Crazy.
It's nuts. So I think Mark Hunt does deserve some sort of compensation. But you can't cry wolf when you knew what was going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. It's like, well, you admitted you thought he was on steroids, and now you're crazy crying. Now it's for sure.
Right.
He should be compensated. Take all that out. The people who should be mad are the fans who got honey-dicked. It's the ultimate honey-dicking of all time. Think about it.
Yeah.
Because we were told Brock Lesnar was clean. He's coming back. He's the same as everyone else. He's saving the card. It's all good. All the fans assumed that you were getting a clean product, and you paid $59.99 or $64.99 HD or whatever the hell it is. We assumed that we were getting a clean product. They're the ones being honey-dicked.
You know what's funny?
The fans. And at what point are the fans like, dude, this is what the fuck, man?
Well, at one point, I'll tell you what they did. In baseball, you see how unforgiving they were of, say, Barry Bonds, etc. They were just unforgiving. I mean, booing him and screaming at him and all that.
You can't go anywhere.
But with fighting, they seem to be way more forgiving, don't they?
You know why? Because they assume everyone's on it.
Because they assume.
Because so many guys get busted.
You as a young fighter, you came into this league, and you were.
I was surrounded by it.
You were surrounded. And I was going to ask you, like you,
all my
and you're
always
very, very tight-lipped about all this, and all you guys are. And I understand that.
It's guy code.
But I've had candid conversations with other fighters and with you. You came in when testing wasn't as stringent. And I've heard you say that probably 95%, 90%, and I've heard this figure from other people, that's how high it was for people doing steroids. And so every time it happens, you're just so not surprised. It was that rampant. It's been that widespread.
100%. I think it's it's part
so the minute you get in,
I think all sports are like that, to be honest. But in MMA, it's just so different because you'll be training next to someone who's doing the exact same amount of work than you or less, and they're performing better, or they're more jacked, or they have better cardio. And like, what is going on here, man?
Wow.
So
hard to compete with the next guy.
But it's also combat sports. So if I'm juiced to the gills and I'm ragged on you around, punching in the face, it's going to have a direct effect on your career and your health.
Or how about in the third round when you start getting tired, he's not tired, your hands come down, he knocks you out. There's so many ways to get injured when you're dealing with a guy who's on drugs.
Take all that out. Pro sports, track and field. It just got announced that Russia's entire government had a doping plan for all the athletes, right? All right, cool. I don't think not that I can remember right now. I think this is the biggest black eye the UFC's ever taken. UFC 200.
You mean with the
biggest black eye
with Brock and with John Jones?
As far as the public, as far as trying to be mainstream, because you sell for $4 billion trying to be mainstream, and your biggest card of the year, which, it sold decent. It didn't sell like UFC 100. Don't get it twisted. It just didn't. Your biggest card of the year, you sign a guy from the WWE, you put up the bat signal, he fails a steroid test, which we kind of knew. You're fucking crazy. Those guys, the UFC brass is too smart not to assume that this was a possibility.
Well, they probably assumed he got clean in time to pass the test, right?
Not a chance. Not a chance.
So they just knew he'd probably fail.
I think so. And then it's like, well, what can you do?
Business.
1.2 million sales. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who's going to be like, dude, come on, man. So it's just the ultimate honey-dicking. It's just the ultimate.
John Jones was the tough one.
John Jones is a tough one.
That was a tough one.
John Jones is the tough, but again, it's like
we knew Brock might have been a one and done, whereas John Jones is supposed to be your champion coming back. You want that belt on him, the invincible John Jones.
He's the only undefeated fighter.
All that stuff.
No one can beat him. And then John fails for estrogen blockers. So then both those guys out for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So I can't think. I mean, I'm sure some fans will be like, well, what about this one? I can't think in regulation. I can't think of a bigger black guy the UFC's taken in a long time.